We'll call to order the meeting of the Ellettsville Plan Commission for Thursday, January 11th, 2024. Steve, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Mike, roll call.
David Drake.
Here.
Dan Swafford.
Here.
Steve Hale.
Here.
Pamela Samples.
Here.
Ryan Skaggs.
Here.
Pat Wesolowski.
Here.
Okay, the first item on our agenda is election of officers for 2024. Do we have any, do we usually do president first or vice president?
President.
Do we have any nominations for president?
I nominate David Drake as president. Second.
Any more? Please. Okay, I guess they will be closed. Mike, roll call?
David Drake.
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Steve Hale.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Ryan Skaggs.
Yes.
Pat Wesolowski.
Yes.
Okay, the next nomination will be for vice president.
I nominate Dan Swafford.
Second.
Any more nominations? Seeing none, roll call?
David Drake.
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Steve Hale.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Ryan Skaggs.
Yes.
Pat Wesolowski.
Yes.
Okay, so much for that. Approval of minutes for December 7th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Monthly conflict of interest statement. Does anyone have a conflict of interest that they need to bring up in regard to anything we're going to be discussing tonight? Seeing none, we have no old business, new business. First item on the agenda is development plan approval for an optometry clinic located at 5011 West Charlestown Way. Petitioner Zach Short, case number PC 24-01. Denise.
Good evening. This is a petition by Zach Short to construct an optometry clinic at 5011 West Charlestown Way. The entire project is 1.32 acres and the building is 7,612 square feet, consisting of 5,148 feet on the first floor and 2,464 feet on the second floor. I will note the address is different than what is on your preliminary plat, knowing it was going to change because of the location of the entrance. Since staff report was finished, we went ahead and changed the address to get it in the works because sometimes it takes a little bit of time for it to make its way through Monroe County GIS, 911, etc. The property is zoned C3, general commercial, and use is permitted by right. The business will be accessed from West State Road 46, and then they'll turn on to West Charlestown Way. The Technical Advisory Committee met on November 12th and reviewed the plans as submitted. The Plan Commission action on the development plan can be in the form of approval, approval with conditions, denial, or to continue the hearing. The Plan Commission has the final say in these matters. The Plan Commission is tasked with either approving with conditions, denying, or continuing this development plan based on 11 criteria listed under number 6 in your staff report. I'll try to make these a little shorter. Compatibility of development plan with surrounding land uses. Optometry clinics are permitted by right in the C3 district and therefore would be considered compatible with surrounding land uses. It will have little direct impact on adjacent properties. Compatibility of the development plan with the recommendations of the comprehensive plan. Commercial uses are encouraged along West State Road 46. Adequate provisions for internal management of traffic. Traffic will enter and exit from West State Road 46, and adequate traffic flow has been accommodated in the development plan. The fire department has approved the radius turns and curves on the development plan. The number of parking spaces is sufficient. Analysis of the capacity of adjacent streets to ensure that adjacent streets can safely and efficiently accommodate the additional traffic generated by the development. All traffic should come from West State Road 46 onto Charlestown Way. There was no reason for concern at this time, as it also serves as ingress-egress for Charlestown Manor. Adequate provisions for public facilities and infrastructure, and provisions for the extension of infrastructure to adjacent developable properties. Infrastructure will be included on site as required by fire and building codes. Provisions for the allocation of land for streets, parks, schools, public and semi-public buildings, homes, businesses, and industries as appropriate. West State Road 46 is maintained by the Indiana Department of Transportation. Adequate on-site management of stormwater and erosion control. Stormwater and erosion control will be managed in accordance with town and state regulations. Adequate provision for green space or landscaping. The petitioner has voluntarily included landscaping for the project along West Charlestown Way. Adequate provision for buffering to significantly reduce the visual impact of dissimilar developments. The petitioner, once again, has voluntarily agreed to include landscaping which will serve as a buffer along West Charlestown Way. Adequate protection of existing limestone structures. There are no limestone structures indicated on site. Provisions of pathways, trails, and our sidewalks for all non-industrial developments. Sidewalks will be added pursuant to the development plan. As of the time of writing this report, there has been no written concerns regarding the development plan received by staff. Development plan approvals shall be predicated on the criteria listed under consideration number 6. If the Plan Commission does find that the development plan is in agreement with those items, the Plan Commission shall approve the development plan. Additionally, the Plan Commission may include any conditions they feel are necessary and relevant to develop the property in an appropriate manner. Recommendations from the technical review meeting either have been addressed or will be addressed by the time of building approval. Additionally, it is staff opinion that the requirements of the development plan section from the Town of Ellettsville ordinances have been reasonably achieved. Staff recommends the Plan Commission approve the development plan with the following condition. Provide documentation from Ellettsville Utilities as to whether a grease trap is required with the building permit application. In my staff report, I requested a landscaping barrier along State Road 46, but petitioner's engineer found a vision easement because of the big billboards. And if he was to plant those trees in that easement, they could come along at any time and remove them, and we don't want the developer to go to that expense, so we aren't going to make those a condition. And I also had requested approval in writing from utilities. It's another one. I've requested notification of whether a grease trap was necessary. And before the meeting, petitioner's engineer provided documentation from Eastern Richland Sewer Corporation that a grease trap is not needed because of the use of the building. And then, Plan Commission may add conditions only to the extent they are relevant to the overall benefit to the town. If the Plan Commission does not find that all criteria have been met, they shall state specifically which criteria have not been met and how they could reasonably be achieved. Petitioner is here as well, has his engineer.
Okay, any questions for Denise?
I got a few questions, but probably for the commissioner, for the petitioner, I would think instead of Denise.
Okay, well, we'll,
Can I add something really quick? So the south end of that parcel is in a floodway and fringe. So the engineer is prepared to address any concerns you may have and how what they will be undertaking to put in the parking lot, et cetera.
okay, would the petitioner like to make a presentation? Just tell us who you are and sign in.
My name is AJ Willis. I'm the engineer on this project, and I will go over a little bit about this development. So this is a proposed optometry clinic with additional space that can be leased to similar type businesses. As Denise mentioned, this site is located in the AE flood zone. The proposed building is being located outside this AE flood zone. Additionally, we're providing 2 feet of freeboard from the 100-year floodway. Basically, that is, if the 100-year flood event happens, the water rises, and then we're setting the building 2 feet out of that to prevent any flooding. The only thing that will be located in the flood zone is the parking area, which is allowed per the ordinance. Denise also mentioned that we've been working with the fire department. We've added a hydrant in the landscape, or the curb island right outside the building in the front. At the tech review meeting, the fire department agreed with this location. We're also going to add the Knox box system, which was requested by the fire department. So for the flood zone, the drainage area for this flood zone is less than 1 square mile, so it's not regulated by the DNR, which basically means we just have to go through the local floodplain permitting process. This road, Charlestown Way, was originally designed with 2 16 by 7-foot culverts. The culverts were sized to pass the 100-year flood event without increasing the flood elevation on adjacent properties. Our development will maintain that. We won't be increasing any flood elevations upstream or downstream from our property. The other thing I want to note, there's a compensatory storage requirement. We are meeting that, so any amount of fill below the BFE we will replace with excavation. I just want to mention some other things about the road design. When it was originally designed and built, they added a 42-inch culvert under the roadway as a precautionary and just an extra measure of safety in the flood event. So that is not included in the original modeling of this roadway, so it's just an extra factor of safety. Same thing with the road design. It was created with a sag curve to allow the 100-year flood event to overtop the road. That was also not modeled in the original design. If you have any questions for me, I'll try to answer them.
I got a couple.
Yep.
First of all, the sign gonna stay there, you said?
Yes.
Will that be, how would I say this? Will that be owned by the same person that's getting the rent off that sign now? Will the new proprietor get the rent off that sign?
I do not believe the ownership will change for the sign.
Okay, then the other question I have is, it's 7,600 square feet, 2 stories.
Mm-hmm.
Is both stories gonna be used for optometry?
So half the building will be used for optometry clinic. The other portions of the building will be leased to similar businesses. This could be pretty much anything in the medical field, like orthodontist, chiropractor, something like that. So it won't really change. It won't change the use of the building. It's really going to stay the same, and it's gonna, whatever goes into it will have to meet the C3 requirements.
Will they have their separate entrances? Or gonna have just one main entrance?
Do you know?
Yeah, there's separate entrances.
Can you tell them who you are?
Yeah, so I'm Zach Short. I'm the petitioner. I'm an optometrist. My practice is called Insights Optical. And I've got two other locations, so this will be my third location. So there is to answer your question, there's a front vestibule where everyone will enter, and then there will be 3 separate entrances, one to my office, one to go upstairs, and then one to the other side as well.
How much space will you have?
Mine's going to be, I think it's roughly 2,400 square feet, 2,500,
Does that include the upstairs, or is it downstairs, your 2,400 square feet?
just downstairs.
It's the only question I have right now.
Anybody else on the commission have any questions of the petitioner? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Does anybody from the commission have any more questions from Denise?
They're gonna enter off of 46?
We're going to enter off 46, and then they'll turn left into Charlestown. When they hit Charlestown Way, they'll turn off 46 on Charlestown Way, and then they make a left-hand turn into his parking lot.
Okay. I misunderstood then, thank you.
And
I
Char-
just said 46 a lot when I was talking about it.
If I remember correctly, Charlestown is wide enough basically for 3 lanes.
Correct.
In one left turn out and then one right turn out.
Yes.
Okay, next we will be open for public comment. Our rules allow 3 minutes per speaker. And if a person needs more than that, then the commission can vote to allow an additional 3 minutes. So was there anyone from the public who would like to address this? Okay, now is rebuttal by the petitioner. But there's no rebuttal. Does anyone from the commission have comments or questions, or are we ready for a vote? Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary planning for the optometry clinic located on Charlestown Way.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mike, roll call.
David Drake,
Yes?
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Steve Hale,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
Brian Skaggs,
Yes.
Pat Weddlowski.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is preliminary plat approval for 3 commercial lots and 1 non-buildable lot in the Ellettsville Self-Storage Subdivision, 5050 West State Road 46. The petitioner is Mini Mall U.S. Storage Properties, Master, case number PC-24-03. Denise.
Second petition of the evening is a request by Mini Mall U.S. Storage Properties Master LP for consideration of primary approval for the Ellettsville Self-Storage Subdivision preliminary plat. Subject properties located at 5050 West State Road 46. If you recall, this petition originally came before you on October 5th, 2023, with the prior owner serving as a petitioner. The Plan Commission gave a conditional approval requiring approval which the petitioner did not agree to, but shortly thereafter sold the property to the current petitioner. The applicant is requesting preliminary plat approval for a total of 4 commercial lots totaling 9.44 acres. 3 commercial lots will be platted, and 1 lot is an existing regional detention facility. Of the 3 commercial lots, 1 is developed and 2 are vacant. The lots are zoned Commercial 3, General Commercial, and will be for commercial development. The subdivision will be accessed from West Road State 46 and North Seasons Drive. Lots meet all dimensional requirements. New infrastructure will be constructed to town requirements. A letter of credit will be required to cover any outstanding items prior to recording of the final plat. The applicant agrees to the commitments that came up at the October 5th meeting and has given permission to their representative, Bynum Fanio and Associates, to sign the commitments. Tech Review Committee comments on September 19th are from the submittal of the prior filing for the preliminary plat. The preliminary plat did not change, so there was no need for a second tech review. Plan Commission action on the preliminary plat can be in the form of approval, approval with conditions, denial, or to continue the hearing. The Plan Commission has the final say in these matters. It is a staff opinion that the proposed plat will meet all required zoning and subdivision regulations, and there are no significant concerns with the proposed plat. This section will be parallel to West State Road 46 and will continue to spur development in the corridor. Staff recommends that the Plan Commission approve the Ellettsville Self-Storage Subdivision Preliminary Plat with the following conditions: signed commitments which the petitioner has agreed to and will be signed by their representative upon approval of the preliminary plat, and the planting of 5 street trees in accordance with Town of Ellettsville tree list prior to the recording of the final plat.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
There was some confusion about this last time, I think, so let me just make clear that this is taking one big lot that is mostly on the east side of Season Drive, but a small portion on the west side of Seasons Drive, way down by 46. It's taking one big lot, dividing it up into 4 lots. Lot 1 is the current self-storage business that is fenced in. Lot 2 is down by State Road 46, south of the current storage business. It has its own driveway cut onto 46. Lot 3 is just to the north of that, but still basically even with the fire station. And then Lot 4 is basically even with the fire station, but west of Season Drive, and it will be used as a detention facility. So none of these additional lots will be up by the Harvest Drive condominiums. They will all basically be down by State Road 46. Is that correct?
That is correct, and I've neglected to mention petitioner's representative, A.J. Willis, their engineer is also here to answer any questions you may have about that. But you're correct, it's going to be to the east and right off of 46.
And if you look on the GIS map, there's already kind of a little driveway that leads into where Lot 3 is. That little driveway is currently there, but not built. So that gives you an idea of where Lot 3 is going to be. You can see the little gravel, the one on, the first one, if you come off 46 onto Seasons Drive, right there. That is basically where Lot 3 is going to be, according to this map.
Correct.
So they will not be up by the condominiums.
No, there's no new land being added for this subdivision. It's all the existing original parcel.
Is the little kick out that's on Lot 2, is that going to be accessed from 46 directly to Lot 2, or what is that? Where is their
They'll all
access
be
at all?
accessed off of Seasons Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's probably not big enough. It was probably designed as a residential or a smaller
Smaller
cutout
commercial.
for than what it's going to end up being. Okay, any questions or comments besides those for Denise? Okay,
I'm sorry. Back in, when this was first brought to us, refresh my memory, what were the terms that we, what
Of
was?
the commitment?
Yeah,
That nobody could live in the units and nobody could operate a business out of the storage
Okay.
unit.
all right, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure. And the new owner is 100% agreeable to this, correct?
Right, and A.J. Willis, their engineer, provided an email to me giving them permission, saying they approve of the commitments and giving them permission to sign it on their behalf based if you approve the preliminary plat. And I believe Darla mentioned in October, it'll be recorded with the Monroe County recorder.
And additional development of this area is in alignment with the comprehensive plan, is that correct?
It is, yes.
Are they planning on putting many warehouses in?
They've not conveyed anything to us if they are.
Okay, any more questions for Denise? Seeing none, would the petitioner like to make a presentation?
I'm representing the petitioner tonight. This is pretty much the same petition as last time. There aren't any changes to it other than the petitioner has agreed to sign the commitments. We're just subdividing this lot into 4 different lots. That's all we're doing right now. There's no plans for development. There's no development associated with this. All we're doing is subdividing the property. There's a few easements that will be recorded during the subdivision. There's a water line and sanitary sewer easement. The infrastructure is already there. We're just recording an easement over that. So all lots in this area can access that. And then there'll be an egress easement where that gravel drive that was discussed. There will be an easement through Lot 3 to provide access to Lot 2. Any questions for me?
And will any of this development have any effect on drainage to the condominiums on West Harvest Lane? I'm assuming it all flows downhill.
Yes, it all flows down to Lot 4, to the regional detention facility. And then at the time of development in the future, whenever these do get developed, they'll have to go through tech review, and that's when the drainage will be reviewed.
And we will not be removing any more trees from the north end of these properties.
Not that I'm aware of. We'll be adding 5 trees along the Seasons Drive street frontage there.
Does anybody else have any questions for the petitioner? Seeing none?
You're a busy guy, aren't you, AJ?
Very busy.
He gets around. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So as mentioned earlier, we allow 3 minutes per speaker for public comment unless the council votes to add additional time. Is there anyone who wants to speak on this? Sign in and tell us your name.
My name is Bill Holdeman. I'm president of the HOA for Autumn Ridge. And I'm pretty much in favor of most of this other than Lot 3. Lot 3, I could see, let's put a Rally's in there. It's open late and has bright lights and generates a lot of traffic. I would have a problem with that. Office type use, I think, would be appropriate, or possibly storage for RVs, boats, and that type of thing, since there's a lot of subdivisions in Bloomington and Ellettsville that will not let you have a boat or a camper in your driveway. But I think that probably Lot 3 should have some either restraints. In Bloomington, they call them PUDs and say you can do this, this, and this, but not that and other things. So that's about my only comment. I just think that we need to be a little bit concerned what happens with Lot 3. You put something in there high use, then it's going to generate a lot more traffic through up Seasons Drive and down Harvest and that. And those are areas that are beginning to turn over and have a lot of young kids in there. So that is my biggest concern, my only concern about that.
So the lighting will all have to meet lighting requirements that require the lighting to be shining down, not out.
Yes, not all night.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
My name's Chris Sims. I live on West Harvest Lane, and I'd just like to say I agree exactly with what Bill's saying. Lot 3 should have some conditions put on it. The Lot 2 is basically frontage for Highway 46, and it'd be pretty normal use to have any kind of business in there that's zoned commercial. But Lot 3 is actually relatively close to the condos back there behind it, so I would hope the board would put some conditions on the use of that particular lot. Thanks.
Okay, does anybody, another one?
My name is Carol Walter. I live at the corner of Harvest Lane and Seasons Drive. In fact, if I had a fire, you could run a hose up from the fire department. I am concerned about Lot 3 as well, because it's very close to my place. And I'm concerned about noise from the commercial properties, and I'm concerned about safety. There's a reason why in the Hoosier vernacular, we refer to those center lanes as suicide lanes. Making a left turn out of Seasons Drive or making a left turn into Seasons Drive, there's no road signs or anything. You can get past that before you even know the street was there. And people make really fast turns in there. So please be aware of the safety concerns of heavy traffic as well. Thank you.
Okay, does anybody have any more questions or comments for Denise?
Or maybe this is something Denise can answer, but with you guys' concerns, where you're living now or where your homes are located now, do you see the highway? Because I'm not real familiar with that area, but it looks as though with the large buildings for the storage, the amount of trees that are there, I don't know, are you guys able to see the highway now, or is it basically just a few homes, or is it the majority of the houses back there, or?
Ridge has, I think at this point, 36 homes in there and 2 more to be built.
Okay. And those all have like a direct site of 46?
The ones in Harvest Lane, we have, they kind of sit high and look over or down at most of these walls.
Any more questions? Any comments? I think that, we always planned on commercial development going in this area. Seasons Drive was built for that purpose. I don't see people going from a commercial development on Lot 3, driving all the way up into Harvest Lane and driving all the way around through Autumn Hills or whatever it's called, to wind their way eventually back out onto 46. I think the vast majority of anyone who would exit or would enter those and then exit would go back down to 46.
Correct. I tried the other way one time and got lost. That's
Yeah.
all I'll say about that.
There is, there's a great big storage buildings development between this and Harvest Lane. So, there might be a little bit more noise that comes up from there. I'm sure there's also an awful lot of noise that comes directly from 46.
Well, the back row is large storage units for people to work on their boats and RVs.
Right.
So they'll have whatever noise they have.
Is there a sign there off of 46, a street sign?
No.
No. Who handles that, Denise?
Street, I'll ask Kip.
Well, she's right, because if you wouldn't know there was a street there, you'd go right past it until you hit it.
And it's not lit at night, it's really dark.
I will say probably the developer never requested it is what I'm thinking.
I
Yeah, but so I'll ask Kip.
thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
You mentioned you didn't think there'd be any increase in traffic. For a short period of time, we did have a dent repair service in one of the buildings, and just from that, we picked up some additional traffic going through the subdivision.
And that's
Well-
why we have them sign the commitments now, because that was not supposed to be going on.
Yes, but I'm saying that was just a small use, and we still got some additional
Well,
traffic.
you guys say that they won't go through Harvest, that's not true. They want to avoid the light at CVS if they're going to get on Union Valley. We get people going through there now, but you're going to have a lot more if you've got commercial development. And they're going to go up to Harvest, straight down and hit Union Valley, to avoid the light at CVS and that. And we've got a lot of kids in that area, a lot of kids.
Oh, we can't have the,
Sorry.
okay, so does anybody from the planning commission have comments about this? Okay, would someone like to make a motion? Okay, well, I'll throw one out there. That we approve preliminary plat approval for the 3 commercial lots and 1 non-buildable lot in the Ellettsville Self-Storage Subdivision, 5050 West Area 46. Petitioner, Mini Mall U.S. Storage Properties, Master, case number PC 24-03.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mike?
David Drake.
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Steve Hale.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Ryan Skaggs.
Yes.
Pat Wazlowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Next on our agenda is Planning Department update.
Next meeting is February 1st. At this time, I have no new business.
Okay,
But in March, you will be busy.
okay. Next item is privilege of the floor. Anyone who wants to address us on something that wasn't on our agenda? Seeing none. Plan Commission comments. Seeing, oh, go ahead.
I think before everybody gets upset or leaves or whatnot, would not the approval of whatever goes in Lot 3 have to pass the board as well?
Right, they'll have to come before the Plan Commission for development plan approval.
So it's not even a worst-case scenario, it's more like a wait and see.
Correct.
Because it could very well be a,
Another
yeah, something very simple, but.
Yeah,
All we did tonight was just approve the
Yeah.
just a subdivision.
I can, yeah, so I can understand the concern they may have, but it almost seems unjust until you know what you're dealing with to worry unnecessarily. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till you've been here a while, you'll get used to it. Okay, we are adjourned.